maybe while he is opening it up, I give a short introduction about myself. My name is Lisa Maria John. I work with Robert Bosch Engineering and Business Solutions Private Limited. We are a 100% subsidiary of the Bosch Group based out of Germany. My role, I'm responsible for strategy development for one of the 4 business units. So the business unit that I work with deals with car multimedia, which is your infotainment and navigation systems, vehicle safety, which is your airbags, ABS, and so on, and engineering tools. Now you might wonder what a person like me with my profile strategy development for an engineering unit is doing at a conference like this World HRD Congress. Well, actually strategy development involves a lot of change management because whenever you're trying to bring in something new, do something new, it also implies a lot of change management, and I think that's really where the link is because a very important stakeholder in the whole change management process or change leadership is the HR organization. So with that, I jump into my topic, the yin and yang of change management. Change is the only constant in life. I'm sure most of us, irrespective of where we've come from, have seen this statement at some point or the other. And it was a thought-provoking statement made sometime in the BCs. But in recent times, we've had a new school of thinkers coming around and proposing and supporting the law of accelerating returns, which essentially states that in today's world, a number of the evolutionary systems are actually undergoing an exponential rate of change. So it looks like what we thought was the only constant is not really a constant, but is changing at an exponential rate. Now, you might want to dismiss this as something that applies to technology, to biology, and so on. But then, this is what statistics has to say. 2/3 of global organizations have experienced some sort of disruptive change. Further, when about 650 organizations and their executives were quizzed on how they see change evolving over time, around 71% of them said that they see change increasing in the next 2 years. So it looks like the exponential rate of change is applying to organizations as well. And that really makes me wonder if you're going to have a new member in our boardrooms very soon. Oh, it looks like I'm going in the reverse direction. Okay, so what makes the whole change process also difficult for us is this. Only 55% of the change programs actually meet the initial objectives. And only 25 to 30% of the change programs meet the end objectives. And that makes it a daunting task. And that makes me wonder if you're going to have a new member on our boardrooms very soon, a chief change officer. But I leave that debate for another date. And what I would like to do today is really share how we are seeing change as an organization, what are some of the things that we are doing, and how has our understanding of change changed over time. So I will talk from 2 perspectives. One is from the perspective of the Bosch Group, and second from the perspective of Robert Bosch Engineering and Business Solutions Private Limited, abbreviated as RBEI, which is the organization that I currently work for. A short introduction to the Bosch Group. We are around a 49 billion euro company. We are primarily known as an automotive company, and that is reflected in the fact that most of our business comes from the mobility solutions business sector. Apart from that, we also have a presence in industrial technology, energy and building technology, and consumer goods. In terms of our regional presence, we have more than majority of our share coming from Europe, and about 1/4 of our revenues coming from Asia Pacific and North America. But we are seeing a lot of change happening around in our business scenario. For one, we see that there is a shift in economic power. We foresee that Europe will no longer be our growth markets, but instead, Asia Pacific and North America will be our growth markets. Now, with this shift in economic power, what is also happening is we are seeing a new breed of employees entering our organization. There is a huge infusion of Gen Y as compared to the Gen X, which we have in Europe. And these 2 generations are very different. Their styles of working are very different. Talking about technological change, so now we have the trends like SMAC, social, mobility, analytics, cloud, or you have the Internet of Things. And all these trends are really changing the way in which we look at products and solutions. You also have concepts where it is no longer about a product or a solution, but really modularity, where the customer gets to pick and choose the bits and pieces of what he wants and put together and make a solution that he wants, which is personalized and customized to the customer's demands. We are talking about new business models like open source, crowdsourcing, etc., which is again very new for us. And finally, rapid development cycles. We are no longer talking about 2 to 3 years to develop a product, but very often 6 months and so on. So what all this implies, we are seeing change in different aspects, be it in the markets, be it in our employees, be it in the kind of technology that we deal with, the business models that we have to cope with, and finally the way we work. And there has been a lot of change happening in each of these fronts. So for example, in order to enable us to tap the growth markets in the Asia Pacific and North American region, it has really required us to see how we can give more authority, more empowerment to our regions. What we have also done is to set up a big unit in Shanghai, which is unofficially dubbed as our second headquarters, and I believe it is bigger and better than our unit in Stuttgart. And it is really sending out a very strong message to our emerging markets saying, we are here to stay and we are very serious about these markets.